My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Monster Train. We've got a random, as you might expect, and Covenant rank 15, which is adding an additional copy of the Allied Clan starter card to our base deck. Ooh. The end is near, the great dread of going to devour our spells. We've got 2 sharpens and an engraft and 2 making for morsel. These are very, very powerful starting cards. Let's see what we find. Well, Winged Steel. It's too powerful to turn down. It's so much draw. But what if I just... No. I like the idea of Train Stewards, but we started with such a better build. We already have enough draw that we don't really need the Sentient to be doing it for us. Plus, we don't really have much damage in the deck at the moment, so instead we're going to want Bristling Sentient giving us the 10 rather than the Rejuvenating Sentient. I can't remember the name of the other one. We already have spikes, so we're completely fine. We'll just set up on the top floor. So by the time they get up to us, they only deal 1 damage apiece. I think I'm gonna focus on putting... Ooh, nice. I think I'm gonna focus on trying to put buffs onto the Sentient here, rather than trying to summon units behind it. Ultimately, that'll work out better for us. It seems like maybe the numbers on how commonly you get a Rubble Morsel from the Shade Splitter have changed a little. Because I remember previously basically exclusively getting the Rubble Morsels, but I haven't gotten one this fight so far. I appreciate. Okay, and yeah, easy. I actually have like a lot of spells in this deck that I would really like to upgrade. I might not go for the Merchant as well as a minion here at the very end. Very uncommon for me to do that. Glimmer is already fulfilled by the Sentient Spikes. Same area of effect or reach. Sharpen, no, we already have it in the deck. Razor Sharp Edge, not necessary, I don't think. Okay, Perils of Production's not bad here. It's just extra energy as well as a free card played for the sake of the Wing and Steel. It's a lot better. And I have enough morsel generation in the deck that I will pretty much always have a good target to play that on. Umbra unit as well as Merchant of Steel, though. Umbra unit as well as Merchant of Steel, though. Because the Umbra unit could just be an Alloyed Construct, at which point we win. Allied Construct is very powerful. Fine. Fine, quick, 10 damage. Yeah. Allied Constructs, reroll. None of those. We'll wait for something better. Yeah, we'll wait for something better. It'll be totally fine. Do I remove 2 cards from the deck right now? No, we have another Merchant of Steel in the next area. We're going to need our money. So I'm looking for, like, you know, multi-strike, reroll large stone is my favorite way of getting this. Okay. I hate that I'm not getting that collector either there. Let's fine, try the restore. Engraft, we'll Shade Splitter and pop you there. Yeah, it seems like Rubble Morsels might have even been removed. Wouldn't be at all surprised to hear that. This class already does have a lot of ability to generate energy, so taking away the rubble morsels, more ability to generate energy, kind of makes sense to me. Never mind. It's still there, the balance numbers have just changed on it. Okay. Gotta get an Engraft out, as well as Morsel Miner on the top floor. Ooh, I'll take a bunch of shades there. It's alright, 8 Perils of Production so that I can sharpen on this line as well. That'll be more than enough. I mean, look, if the game is going to offer me a pretty straightforward, easy win on the highest ascension I've unlocked so far, Covenant I've unlocked so far, rather, you best believe I'm going to take it. Do I need to dislocate enemies? Not really. Space Prism isn't bad here, though. Excavation Eruption's also not bad. Good early thing to take and upgrade. Thing is, it has the same benefit as the Sentient. It clears out chumps in the backline. It is reach. Space Prism is good because it can support the Alloyed Construct without necessarily requiring us to get a Capacity Gem. And if I can avoid a Capacity Gem, I can get, instead, Draw or something like that. Thing is, like, cost reduction as well as holdover on Engraft and then duping that in the next area. Well, do I want to dupe that in the next area? Or no, I probably want to get an artifact in the next area. Fine. Bunch of steel. Impress me. Multi-strike. That'll do. We'll come back to this and possibly reroll. Actually, we should probably reroll it before we go into the concealed caverns, just in case we get... Yeah, I'll take nothing there. Just in case we do take another upgrade. Probably not going to take one of those. Should I take quick? Actually, yeah, I'll take quick. That's fine. Because the chumps are already cleared out by the time they get to the Alloyed Construct. Okay, and now I'm going to the Concealed Caverns because this might give us the Behemoth Crystal or something. No, it didn't. Okay, so purge a card to gain a card. The thing is, the upgrades that are offered in events can go on units that are already maxed out on upgrades. They don't cost a slot, but if I get them before and then try and upgrade the unit, so the second upgrade a unit has is an event upgrade, then you can't upgrade it. Then it does cost a slot, right? So it allows you to surpass the maximum. So that's why I wanted to get the Alloyed Construct upgraded there before I started coming to this event. I'm just trying to be a little more clever about our sequencing. These train stewards are such utter trash for us right now. Rare Awakened or Rare Umbra. Rare Umbra has the obvious pickup of the Shadow Spike is really good for us. Shroud Mitosis is also really good for us there. Specifically with the 2 Making of Morsels we already have in the deck. Furnace Tap is also really good for us. We can use Perils of Production as well as... We can use Perils of Production and Engraft to help get energy on turns we otherwise wouldn't have energy. Awoken, Quick Tome? No. Wildwood Tome? Sorry, the Wildwood, Unleash the Wildwood rather, heal everyone? Kinda good. I think it's rare. Blazing Bolts! Deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit, add a stronger version of this card to your discard. We've gotten this very early. We should have the ability to make this into a pretty important weapon in our arsenal. I could remove another card right now, right? I could, but I want to save the money. It won't make significant enough an impact to be worth the 75 that I invest in it right now, when I could be investing that in upgrading Blazing Bolt later. Don't love that I'm about to take 10 damage to that constructed explosive, but them's the breaks. Hey, I'm healing back up as well. And we got fuel, so we'll actually destroy the constructed explosive before it goes off here. Let's go. Making, morsel, shade, space, morsel. Yeah, we are going to need a way to heal the midline soon. Unless we kind of just want to watch it die. The top floor is not really being taken care of. Let 5 go by. I think I have to let 5 go by here. I need to play the Blazing Bolts consistently here. But now I'll give it Thorns, so we actually kill the Discipled Foot Soldier. Great. Honestly, I can transition into just putting Thorns on the Alloyed Construct later on to take care of chumps. But the problem is now we have Quick, so that's actually not a great idea anymore. Dang, Quick. Okay. Let's engraft there, I guess. Shade Splitter, we should have done that on a different floor, but it doesn't matter because we have the Quick. I mean, this Sentient has put its work in. It doesn't need to be here for the whole... Oh my god, we got another Blazing Bolts off. Hell yeah. Oh, that's monumental. So now it's fully upgraded, which means I have the ability to give it things like Holdover. I couldn't have given it Holdover before, though. Yeah, I couldn't give it Holdover before because it had Purge, and cards with Purge just cannot be given Holdover. Another Blazing Bolts? The thing is, we don't have the energy to cast all of this. Well, I mean, we're about to take an Energy Crystal, aren't we? Actually, we are. Yeah, take it. Animus of Will wouldn't be a bad backliner behind a Sentient, but that's also not what we're doing at the moment. We will need... Yeah, we're going to need the Merchant of Magic down here to start upgrading our spells. Lowering their costs in particular. It's really good there's an Unstable Vortex there as well. Right, Artifact Finds. Unstable Anvil is really nice. Split Anvil, rather, is really nice. The Blazing Bolts now make every other spell in hand cost 0. Huge! Huge pickup for us right there. So let's cut things from this deck that are not spells. Great champion. I mostly just want the extra health on the Bristling right now. I could actually see, like, diversifying later for cultivating for draw. Force enemies into its spikes. Is that a huge problem for us? The Alloyed Construct is going to have a little bit of a problem with that. But how much of a problem? Especially considering we're going to be killing on lower floors and throwing out a lot of Blazing Bolts. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, it worked. Blazing Bolts did its job there. Let's throw an Engraft on you because you've actually taken damage. Pop a Train Suit on the top floor. Honestly, just to get it out of the way. Already taken damage, so we'll give you the heal there. And then we'll give a proactive heal here just so the regen ticks and gives 1 HP. Okay. So we'll start off with a Blazing Bolt here, which actually prevents us from having to do any damage. Or rather, prevents us from having to do any damage to them, and in that, prevents us from taking damage. Let's keep getting those cheap heals out of here. Yeah, definitely. The Split Anvil, as well as the 2 Blazing pickups there, were enough to justify taking on this fight. Which I'm very, very glad about. Let's go. Blazing for the Purge. And then you're already killing both of the enemies, so I can actually play the Magma Morsel here. Otherwise, the Magma Morsel would hit the enemy's spikes and wouldn't die for us. Or rather, it wouldn't get eaten. It would die, though. It's weird. The cost of the Blazing Bolts has actually become their strength right now. Love the Split Anvil so much. Oh, huge fan. Alright. We got this all sorted. Oh, and the Sharpens are even here in the interim. Get the extra draw, throw out another Blazing Bolts so that I can get another Making of a Morsel going on. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna keep throwing all that heal on the top floor just in case, but I strongly suspect it's not necessary. We should have this already. Yeah, we have this already. We extremely have this already. Let's make sure to give a little bit of rage to one of the morsels there. Have it actually contribute. I would not be surprised to see Alloyed Construct nerfed, as I've said a couple times. Oh my god, Hell's Banners whenever you summon the second unit during turn, gain 3 energy. Now I feel like Fel's Remorse was wrong, and we want as much draw here as possible. Awake. Awake is another expensive spell that gives us the ability to heal up the Sentient significantly more. I'm gonna take it. Cannibalize. There's also an Ember Forge that can go on the top floor and we would just get a lot more energy every single turn. I just don't think I need that as much as I need more things to eat. We get like a decent amount of morsels every turn right now, but I want better morsels. So cutting like a couple of Shade Splitters. Well, but do I cut Shade Splitters? Because like, what am I even going to consume with the Cannibalize? Maybe I get the Crucible extension and I start looking for things like Gem Trove. Gem Trove would be great because it's 4 costs, so we can play it by base with the Fel's Remorse, but it would make all of our 3 costs cost nothing as well. I think I'll take a Crucible extension there. So my spell upgrades are no longer looking that great. But minion upgrades look awful, so might as well go for them. Double stack? For more regen for Awake? 8 regen's pretty significant. I'll do that. I'll send Magic Power, pop that into Blazing Bolts. Don't want to negative cost anything here, I don't think. Plus 10, put that on the Blazing Bolts as well. And you know what? I'm gonna put Permafrost on the Awake so that I can choose when I want to play it, because its initial 30 heal is huge, but also if it's in the hand as well as another Blazing Bolts, I can't... I'm not always gonna want to play the Awake as the priority. I'm usually gonna want to play the Blazing Bolts instead. I could even reduce the cost of one of the Blazing Bolts so that it gets reduced by the Awake. I think that matters more. Oh, I was about to say, I think that matters more as we start cutting more cards out of the deck, and then immediately I tabbed across to a different screen to start cutting cards out of the deck, so. Well, I think it probably matters at this point. Let's reduce the cost of one, and then remove another Restore or a Shade... I'll remove a Shade Split here, I think. I think it is more and more just about cutting cards out of the deck at this point. Enemy center with armor 15. That's fine, right? Yeah, they still die to the Sentient. I'm going to set up on floors 2 and 3 here. I could set up on floor 1, actually. Because the Sentient doesn't have to hit them back. Yeah, this is fine. Let's go with the extension here first. Yeah, I'll hold the Awake for next turn, obviously, as you might imagine. Great. I mean, it's 75 gold that we get for doing that. It's pretty big. Oh god, yeah, I was worried this wasn't gonna be enough. It's my fault too. Oh, hang on. It's more than enough, everything's fine. It's not my fault, but it's my credit. Ah, that's where all the rubble morsels were hiding. I knew they were somewhere. Just waiting to strike. Oh my god. I love how much, like, pseudo energy we have in this deck. Like, we do have the energy. Like, we've got, this is just something that the Umbra have the ability to do, right? We've got pseudo energy in the Perils, the Engraft, obviously in the Split Anvil and the Hell's Banners. So these are ways of gaining energy that don't rely on a specific energy relic, a boss relic, like a Fel's Remorse. But then we also have pseudo capacity in the Space Prism as well as the Crucible extension. And then we have pseudo draw in the Winged Steel. Oh. Just got so many of our bases already covered. Right. So, big wake right there. I'm not going to be able to play two things right here, so put that down by itself and then start getting some regen, I guess. Yeah, I was almost 100% certain we weren't going to be taking damage here. Very glad to have that confirmed for me, though. Oh, it's been a very long time since I've actually had like a quick unit. Healing spells on this floor cost -1. No, don't need that. Engrafts. Don't really need it. Grovel. Grovel isn't a bad way to get some more morsels. I'll take it. I'll take it. If I can't get Gem Trove, I'll take the Grovel. So we got a double removal there. As well as a dupe. I might dupe another upgraded Blazing Bolt, specifically the one that has extra cost. Honestly, the Shade Splitters are like proving way more powerful than these restores. The restores should just be gone. Let's go for an extra Blazing Bolt. Do I need another Awake? No. I think I'll take the damage over that. The thing is, if I do end up losing my Sentient, it's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. As long as I've had like a couple rounds to start setting up the next floor, it's kind of fine. Hang on. How do we do this? So Blazing Bolts first. Makes the making morsel cost nothing. I can play the making... Actually, no. It's... play that first. There we go. I forgot that I'd already played a unit that turn by playing the champion. So I thought I was going to have to play the Alloyed Construct as well as the Morsel Miner before I started getting upgrades there. Don't have enough minions to play. It feels like I do start using the Awake proactively here. Good. I wanted to get the extra draw there so that I would have these in hand before I play the Awake, just in case. And that looks to have paid off pretty significantly. Gotta love a turn like this. Blazing Bolt into Blazing Bolt. Just sharpen and run away. Really should have ordered that turn differently. I'm going to have to make sure that I order my turns in a way that allows the Winged Steel to reduce the cost of the massive amount of cards. So I want my third card played to be my expensive card, if at all possible. The Ultimate Penance is always going to cost us a decent amount, so let's just play that out. Play that out. Most expensive in my hand at the moment is making... Dang. That's fine. Never mind. I still get to play 2 things. And that gives me the ability to play all the rest of them as well. Hell yeah. So would I take something like a Shard Channeler to put here on the bottom floor? Because I'm trying to think of the rare cards that we might encounter in just a moment. I probably would. I probably would. Again, sequencing of that turn was doo-doo. It's gonna work out, but that doesn't make it good. So we're good at dealing with area of effect. We're good at dealing with sweep. We're good at dealing with 2 big dudes. We're good. Frankly, we're just good. Deck's doing fine. So this one, I think I have the luxury of just choosing how I want to win. And if I just want to focus on the Allied Construct, that's going to be a totally legitimate way to get it done. Okay, play out all those so that I can wake. Throw out more regen. Just want to see how much damage we can do with just the Sentient there with a bunch of regen on it. And not enough. Still a huge amount of their health total, though. In fact, enough that... Yeah, we can just kill with the Blazing Bolts. So yeah, Alloyed Construct wasn't really part of that boss kill. Shroud Spike. It's 100% Shroud Spike. We have the ability to get a ridiculous amount of energy on a turn. And as well as if we cast it for the largest amount of energy possible, it will trigger the Split Anvil. So it will set its cost at the value of our Ember at the point that we cast it, and then effectively this is cast as like a 4-cost card, so it makes the rest of these cost dice. I almost just walked away from it there for some reason. Extra draw? Extra draw. 100% extra draw. It's been extra draw for a while. The first one possibly should have been extra draw, but we didn't know that at the time. Honestly, like, most of the things I can think of being impactful in spell upgrades are cost reductions, and we already have cost reduced spells. I'm gonna go for the artifacts over here. First time a friendly unit is healed each turn, draw 1. It's just extra draw for us. It's great. Probably take that. Right, +1 stack of spikes each time it's applied. Or enemies gain -1. Enemies gain -1 is a problem here, because again, absolvers, we want them to hit us. Gnarled Root isn't impactful here at all, but I'll take it. We actually heal in this fight. So you know what I'm going to do? Is, instead of whenever your Pyre kills a unit, restore 5 Pyre health, or Heartless being you cannot be healed, I will demonstrate you can get an extra upgrade on a unit and give you an extra 25 health there. That's also actually relatively important, because sometimes we might get overwhelmed on that floor. And we don't want to just die and crumble instantly when that happens. 41 smikes on that Sentient down. Last one's the most impactful. Almost enemy units restore all health when they move up a floor. The thing is, like, this is a problem. But it might be worth the amount of Pyre health that we'll lose. Also, I think I can use Blazing Bolts to try and fix a lot of this problem. Nothing else really to do there, I guess. Dang. Actually, I can kill on this top floor. I can kill just a single Gilded Wing on this top floor pretty easily. Use a Blazing Bolt here. That was very early, wasn't it? It was too early. Thankfully, it doesn't matter. Love it when it doesn't matter when I made a mistake. Ooh, my favorite kinds of mistakes to make. Yeah, I'm going to be proactive about that. So I can cast a Shroud Spike for 6. That's not bad. And now our stats are almost 300 damage is put out by us before we ever get hit, and we have a ridiculous amount of HP. Yeah, we're totally fine here. Without a Shroud Spike like that going off early, specifically the floor that we just nuked there, the giant protector in front of the Pyre Wings would have been too much for the Yellowed Construct, but now we're completely fine. Well, actually, it would still be too much for the Yellowed Construct without also having some damage on it beforehand. With the Sentient can't apply any damage to the armored unit because it does no damage. So yeah, we do need the Blazing Bolts to actually be part of this. But still good enough. Get more fuel. Maybe the whole thing is maybe the Alloyed Construct's fuel needs to deplete faster? Maybe? Gosh, this floor is very intimidating. But I guess if you were going to remove anything there, I want you to remove the armor from the Steel Wings. Although, yikes, though. Yeah, this is starting to feel not great. Keep getting the regen out there and more on this floor. Hang on. I think we're probably going to be letting one of these go by. No, we just have enough. We just peaked over 120. Great. Although now we have all the Blazing Bolts in hand, so it's never going to be a problem for us at this point. Make sure you get healed for an extra draw. I honestly don't even know if I want to remove any of the Shade Splitters from this deck at the moment. Kind of just into it. Okay, and then more on you. Throw another restore just in case. So how much is that? Almost all of your HP? To be fair, some of that was the Blazing Bolts that we cast this turn as well. And then the rest of it will be the Blazing Bolts that I cast this turn. Great. No damage taken. Got a bunch of money there. Don't need any of this. Bramble Ash is like a giant nuke to a frontliner on the bottom floor whenever I want it. Okay, never mind. We can take that. Cannibalize does give me the ability to just choose the worst morsel I've found and get better ones instead. I think at this point it's probably worth it. Even give it holdover if I could. What else would I double in this deck? I could double a Shroud Spike. Okay. Spike Steal and additional damage per stack is nice. +2 capacity on the middle floor is also really nice. Take both of those and reroll. Apply damage shield to the friendly unit summoned first each turn. 2 damage to rear enemy units when a morsel is eaten. Yeah, Teeth of Gold isn't necessary because the spikes will have already killed those units by the time they get there. I actually probably don't care about any of those that much. Consume removal. Consume removal on the Shroud Spike. Then I'm not duping it. Tell you that much. Okay. Double stack. I'm gonna double stack for an extra Divine Shield there. And then go for a +10 magic power on the other Blazing Bolts. All seems good to me. Now just what the heck do we dupe? Thinking it might be making of a morsel so that because the Shroud Spike we're just going to play like every cycle, but we're going to make sure, we want to rather make sure that we always have a morsel in hand. Specifically a morsel minor for it to hit. Okay. Actually, I could have reduced the cost of one of those morsel minors because you do cast those at the start. Yeah, I should have reduced the cost there. That's my bad. I'll reduce the cost of the Cannibalize because also you want to cast it as relatively early on in the turn as you can. So I'm going to put trash morsels maybe on the top floor? Unprotected? We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's go with Sentient Construct. Will consume the Restore. Throw out the Blazing there pretty happily. And then just get some morsels down. Now we've got some fuel. Life is already pretty good. We do 90 damage before any enemies can attack me back on that floor. Use a Shade Splitter here. Got a pretty garbage morsel. Time to throw out the Awake. Bramble Ash for a bunch of damage. Really, really simplifying all of this for us. And just the extra morsels in the midline. Yeah, it really feels like all of our spells, as well as our Sentient, can take care of the bottom floor most of the time. And then we just have the Alloyed Construct is more a contingency at this? Like a contingency plan at this point? It's weird. I'm going to play first the spell that already consumes regardless of what I do. I now have too much space on this floor. We'll start adding some space on the bottom floor, I guess. It's my bad. Okay. So the bottom card of the deck is Shroud Spike, as expected. Because I still hadn't drawn it yet. I was waiting for it every single turn. But this does mean I go 2 cycles through my deck before I actually get to play a Shroud Spike. It's, you know, not great. Yeah, I don't have to care about the Light Wings that's getting passed on the top or the Vengeful Shard here. Not really any of my concern. We've got enough HP that we can let a fair few things go by without really starting to have any difficulties yet. Both of those are already dead, so we've got Blazing Bolts down here. Hit the Awake. I can actually play the Awake this turn. That's fine. Right? Yeah, 3 energy from the Hell's Banners. We'll be fine. In fact, we even managed to get the maximum amount of morsels on this floor. It feels like this is one of the first times where I've actually, like, over the course of the entire run, reasonably well balanced my amount of morsel generation to my amount of morsel consumption each turn. So I'm not ending up with extra morsels. I sometimes end up with extra space. Kind of semi-consistently end up with extra space. But it's not that much of a problem. I think I'm going to deny myself of extra energy next turn. Shroud Spike's still left in the deck. There is a making of a morsel in there as well, so I got to be careful about what I draw this turn. We can get out Sharpen pretty happily. Great. So next hand is guaranteed to have a making of morsel as well as a Shroud Spike. Great. Great. I think I should Blazing Bolts on this bottom floor right now. There's our extra energy. There's our making of a morsel as well. So I think what I do here is I awake first. And we make a morsel play you. Make a morsel play you. We're only going to be casting this for 3, but that's okay. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And then we have easy Divine Shields to cover the rest of it. Vengeful Shard deals 3 damage to us right here, but it's not that bad at all. Again, huge amount of damage on that bottom floor. Almost entirely from the regen that was given with Awake. I might be, in fact I strongly suspect I am, significantly undervaluing Awake. And as you can see here, yet again, the Alloyed Construct was really only a catch for the people that managed to get past the bottom floor. Didn't really do anything to the boss at all. Didn't have to. It was just that intimidating. The boss didn't want to face it so badly that the boss went back in time and drafted very powerful spells into my deck so that the boss could die to those instead. I know it's a weird play, but well done to the Seraph. Coming at rank 16 is Merchant Purge, costs 20% more. Oof, rough. That is, I like my removals, and a lot of the levels so far have been trashing your deck with more and more things. I am now finally on the same level as Wonderbot as well. I knew I was gonna get here one day. Let's go to the run summary so they can say for the moment. My name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.